Hello everyone. In this video, we're picking out and sharing the latest topics about Asia. From one of the most famous Reddit-style forums in Japan. Even if you don't understand Japanese, we've translated everything into English subtitles and audio. So you can join the conversation as if you were in Japan. So, let's dive into the discussions happening in Japan. More and more wealthy Chinese buyers want to build homes in Rokurokuso, one of Japan's most exclusive neighborhoods in Asia. Lately, rich Chinese investors have started moving into Rokurokuso. Some are willing to drop $3.3 million without hesitation. At least 10 properties have already been bought. Once a wealthy Chinese buyer gets a property, it's usually resold to another Chinese buyer, meaning these houses never go back to Japanese ownership. Some locals are worried, saying, at this rate, the whole area will just turn into a Chinatown.
Just stop selling to Chinese buyers. Problem solved. Then why don't Japanese buyers outbid them? Oh, right, because Japanese people don't have that kind of money. If China were a decent country, I wouldn't mind. Wish Taiwan's government could take over the mainland. A new Chinatown in the making. Rip Asia's prestige. Japan's policies favoring the rich will eventually make Japanese people irrelevant in their own country. Asia became an elite neighborhood because of its high social standards. If people with lower morals move in, it'll just turn into another declining town. The ones who will suffer are the wealthy landowners watching their property values plummet. These aren't just any Chinese buyers. They're ultra-rich. The elite know how to handle their own. Luxury neighborhoods like Asia aren't actually convenient for normal living. People aren't paying for the lifestyle, they're paying for the address. If that status gets diluted, the whole area's value tanks. It all depends on how the current residents react. Tokyo's luxury high-rises are also packed with Chinese owners. At this rate, Japan's wealthy class will be mostly Chinese. There are tons of Chinese billionaires with insane amounts of assets. That's capitalism. Outbid them if you can. Foreign buyers don't pay inheritance tax, so their wealth just keeps growing indefinitely. People say wealthy Chinese investors, but in China, only Communist Party insiders can get that rich. So really, it's just CCP elites moving in. If Japan really cared, they'd ban selling to Chinese buyers. Special places deserve special rules. No need to worry, give it 50 years. And Japan won't just have a Chinatown, the whole country will be China. Getting taken over before even fighting a war. What a joke. Asia is legit. Even after major earthquakes, the hillside areas didn't budge. Way smarter than Chinese investors buying high-rises. In Asia, the wealth gap is literally measured by altitude. Lower areas got wrecked in the last big earthquake. It's always been home to pachinko bosses and loan sharks. So it's not like much has changed. People overhype it. Japan should just pass a law banning foreigners from owning land. Lease it to them with an expiration date instead. Feels just like the 1980s, when the US freaked out over Japan buying up everything. Japan did buy the Rockefeller Center, after all. If China declines like Japan did, they'll disappear too. Same thing happened in Kujoyama, Kyoto. Used to be full of rich locals, now it's all Chinese buyers. But to be fair, locals say they actually follow the trash pickup rules and community guidelines. Whatever happened to the China real estate bubble is bursting headlines. That's why they're cashing out, converting yuan into overseas assets. California's rich moved out, too. If that's happening in Asia and Bunkyo, they're probably done for. A high-ranking Chinese official once said, Japan would become part of China within a few decades. Back then, people laughed. Turns out, they didn't mean through military force. At least these rich Chinese buyers aren't criminals. The real problem is scalpers lining up to hoard graphics cards. When Chinese people cluster in an area, that area just becomes China. They even start using yuan instead of yen. Who needs war when you can just buy a country? Meanwhile, Japan's politicians are all bought and paid for, so no one's stopping this. If enough Chinese people move in, China won't need to launch missiles at Japan. If Jackie Chan moves in, I'll allow it. This is literally an invasion, just without the tanks. This is unrestricted warfare. Finland already banned Russians from buying real estate. Why isn't Japan doing the same with China? Why doesn't Japan restrict Chinese land ownership? Japanese people can't buy land in China. In a crisis, just seize their properties. By the time there's a crisis, it'll be too late, genius. If they're rich, who cares? To get rich in China, you have to be ruthless, cunning, and morally bankrupt. Now imagine a whole wave of those people moving into Japan. Think about what that means.
Did you find this video interesting? We'll keep bringing you fun topics from Japan's online community. Please subscribe to the channel and drop some comments.